Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As always, it is very good to see you. You know this, the truth has a very nasty habit of eventually coming out. And for the government of India, embarrassing enough, today it came from the mouth of one of their very own. At a time when the Environment Ministry is in full damage control mode over Delhi's peaking pollution, the Union Minister for Road and Transport hit them with a truth bomb. Nitin Gadkari said what everyone who comes to Delhi says. The city makes them sick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to applaud the minister for speaking the truth and fact-checking his own government. That at one point was telling Parliament that there is absolutely no link between pollution and lung diseases. And then at another point was claiming that air quality had actually improved compared to the Aam Aadmi Party years. Let's listen in first to Nitin Gadkari.
मैं 2 दिन मुश्किल से रहता हूँ, इन्फेक्शन हो गया। ये दिल्ली पूरा पोल्यूशन से त्रस्त क्यों है? मैं ट्रांसपोर्ट मंत्री हूँ, 40% हमारे कारण होता है।
उनको धन्यवाद करूंगा कि कम से कम एक मंत्री जो जनता की आवाज उठा रहे हैं और सच बोल रहे हैं। नितिन गडकरी जी का कहना केंद्र सरकार के उस दावे को खारिज करता है कि लंग डिजीज का पोल्यूशन से कोई सीधा नाता केंद्र सरकार को नहीं मिला।
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been informed today by the powers that be that today Delhi's air pollution has actually come down to 271. Therefore, GRAP 4 restrictions are being revoked, which essentially means that polluting vehicles will make a comeback and consequently so will 450 plus AQI levels. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this is coming on a day when the Delhi High Court came across as completely fed up with the situation in Delhi. It castigated the government once again, saying that humans breathe 21,000 times a day. They then asked the government, now go and calculate how much damage you are doing. The court then asked the government to slash the 18% GST on air purifiers and bring it down to 5%. They are saying air purifiers are no longer a frill item or a luxury item that deserve to be put in the 18% GST bracket. It's now a medical device and the GST on it should not be more than 5%. The court said, if you can't bring down the pollution, then this is the least you can do. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what the centre's response was? Essentially, they said, I'm paraphrasing here, dekhenge, GST Council se पूछेंगे. And that is where the matter stands as of now. But, ladies and gentlemen, as the court was castigating the government and Nitin Gadkari was coughing out the truth, came a mind-boggling letter from the big boss of Delhi, the Lieutenant Governor Vinay Saxena. Now, Mr. Saxena wrote a 15-page letter on pollution to the Chief Minister of Delhi. No, not to the present Chief Minister of Delhi, but the former Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal. He said it was 11 years of criminal neglect by Kejriwal that is responsible for Delhi's global shame today. He said the Aam Aadmi Party, by questioning Rekha Gupta on the pollution issue, is essentially playing politics. The Aam Aadmi Party responded saying that the LG is brain-fogged because of the pollution in the city's air and therefore his memory has weakened. Listen in. Okay, we'll get you the Aam Aadmi Party's reaction in just a bit, but for the moment, let's get in our guest this evening, Nitin Tyagi, spokesperson, BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Hi, Nitinji, good evening. Good to have you on the show. Arushi Sana, thank you very much. She's a political analyst. She's also someone who looks keenly at environment. Good to have you on the show, Arushi. Kanak Gupta is a co-founder of My Right to Breathe, joining us on the broadcast. Hi, Kanak. Good evening. Siddharth Sharma is national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Siddharthji, namaskar. And Kapil Madan is an advocate. What is he doing on our show today, ladies and gentlemen? Let me tell you, he's the one who took his matter of air purifiers and the GST on it to court today. And, well, he's not got an answer. We'll talk to him about that in just a bit. But first, listen in to what the Aam Aadmi Party, ladies and gentlemen, has said after the LG wrote a 15-page letter to them, blaming them for Delhi's pollution and not the present chief minister?
मुझे लगता है कि जिस तरीके से प्रदूषण दिल्ली के अंदर है, लोगों की लंग्स पे असर करता है प्रदूषण, इनके शायद दिमाग पे असर कर गया है प्रदूषण, और इनकी याददाश्त चली गई है। इनको ये नहीं याद रहा कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी आज मुख्यमंत्री नहीं है, आज रेखा गुप्ता मुख्यमंत्री हैं। कुछ प्रदूषण पे पूछना था तो उनसे सवाल पूछ लेते हैं।
Nitin Tyagi ji, for obvious reasons, I'm coming to you first. You have a minister in your own government, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who we like very much because he's very candid and honest, saying every time I come to Delhi, this city makes me sick. Yet look at what the BJP government, both at the center and the state, has been trying to do, and the union territory has been trying to do. Bhupender Yadav tells the parliament, इस बार तो एयर पोल्यूशन इतना है ही नहीं जितना पिछली बार था, 460 से ज्यादा तो हुआ नहीं. Then his MOS says there is no link between pollution and lung diseases. ये opposition के लोग बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? आप मुझको बताइए, अगर LG ने चिट्ठी लिखनी थी, नितिन जी, if the LG had to write a letter, a 15-page letter on pollution in Delhi to someone, should he have written it to the former chief minister or the present chief minister?
First of all, I think I'm not qualified to answer why LG wrote the letter to Arvind Kejriwal.
Which
and
means,
I'm
Mr.
sure
Tyagi, you are questioning, the logic as well.
Are facing this.
Mr. Tyagi,
No, just a moment. I'm not questioning.
You're questioning the logic as well, because I'm questioning the logic.
He has his own logic, and no. You are questioning the logic. I don't know why you are questioning the logic.
I should not question the logic.
That kind of stubbornness from Arvind Kejriwal, where he was not ready to. Just a moment. Let me speak.
बोलिए.
He must have faced that kind of resistance and stubbornness from Arvind Kejriwal for so many years that he was not ready to do anything about the pollution except for blaming Parali and Punjab and Haryana for all the pollution that was happening in Delhi. I used to be in Aam Aadmi Party, I used to debate, and even I was not convinced with what Arvind Kejriwal was saying. Let me tell you something. Obviously, the pollution cannot go in a single day or a month or 2 months. It's a process. And I am very happy that Delhi government today is making the ball roll very fast. They have taken a lot of steps and they have planned futuristically that the pollution in years to come is going to reduce. If anybody says that there's no pollution in Delhi, I don't think so. I would agree with that. Pollution is there, visibly it is there, and it is discomforting. We all agree to that.
Okay.
Nobody is going to refute that. I am sure nobody is refuting. I agree. It is extremely uncomfortable. I have my family over here. I have people whom I know, and they feel discomfort in this kind of.
So, Mr. Tyagi, when Rekha Gupta, the chief minister, was sworn in, and she boldly claimed कि 3-4 महीने में मैं pollution हटा दूंगी, दिवाली में देखिए हमने firecracker allow किए तो कोई pollution नहीं हुआ, etc. Then she was speaking through her hat. You'll agree with that as well. Because now she is saying that I need 27 months to improve the air quality in Delhi. Even in 27 months, by the way, nothing is going to happen. And my sense is with the way we are going, even in 27 years, it's not going to happen. No. It was the last 27 years because this has been happening. It is not because of Rekha Gupta's 1 year or 8 months or 9 months in the government. The position of Delhi is 27 years of neglect that Delhi has faced. And there is a proper plan, a very strong plan by, if you want me to chalk it out, I'm sure you've been listening to the press conferences by the ministers and everything, what they have been trying to do. I do not need to elaborate. If you want me to elaborate, I will elaborate upon that. Mr. Tyagi, actually, I would have hoped that the central government, which has been in power now for how many years? 11 years? I would have imagined that the central government run by the BJP would have a futuristic plan ready by now. 11 साल तो उनको भी हो गए, जैसे 11 साल केजरीवाल को हुए थे। लेकिन ना मोदी जी ने कुछ किया, ना अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कुछ किया. So it is very rich for Mr. VK Saxena, who is the big boss of Delhi, who the Supreme Court has empowered to take any decision he wishes to write to a former chief minister to say कि आपकी गलती है. Mr. Tyagi, how does it make sense?
why will he not write to a former chief minister? It has been his neglect in the last 10 years. It has been his stubbornness of not trying to change the situation of Delhi.
Siddharth ji,
his only stubbornness that he was blaming the central government.
Okay, Siddharth ji, please respond to that, but don't laugh because you have no reason to laugh.
What center?
Go ahead.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. Nitin is a good friend of mine, has been for too long. And the bouncer, the first ball bouncer that you put, he could not duck. I'll just hook it for a 6. It's like me having a dysentery today, blaming my grandpa for having too much peanuts during his time. That should have been his answer. Well, he did not answer that. The only thing that comes to mind while BJP fails on pollution is of a dysfunctional clock. It claims to be right in a day twice. BJP has to first decide within itself if pollution is a problem or not. Its PM says there's no global warming, only our tolerance is down. His chosen CM says AQI is temperature measurable with any device. In between is stuck its former president, Mr. Nitin Gadkari ji, who says every time he visits Delhi, he feels sick. Now, BJP has to first enlighten Times Now viewers who among these the top 3 are correct. Perhaps that's why fourth umpire LG jumped in with his amnesia a few days ago. He first advised the BJP CM that 75% of Delhi pollution was local. Then he eloped to Gujarat to watch cricket. Then when he comes back, he becomes like Gautam Gambhir, blaming Virat Kohli for India losing test matches. He forgot that neither Virat plays tests, nor is Kejriwal Delhi's chief minister. In all these, at least we have a silver lining today with the Delhi High Court judgment, echoing Arvind Kejriwal's 25-day-old demand to reduce GST on air purifiers.
Judgment
overdue, yet wholly necessary.
No fake news on Times Now. Koi judgment nahi hai.
No.
It is something that
no. Arvind Kejriwal is talking about. Arvind Kejriwal is talking about air purifiers now. What was he doing when he was the chief minister?
Can the BJP spokesperson say that the Delhi High Court today has made an observation that air purifiers has to be reduced? Will BJP, central government and Delhi government?
If you speak over each other, I will not be able to understand you.
Punjab is everything that he should have done in Delhi for the last 10 years.
ठीक है 10 years में Arvind Kejriwal didn't do anything, 10 years में Modi ji did not do anything. That is our fate. That is our fate as taxpayers.
What Delhi government has been doing is quite evident. If you go out on road, you see those missed polls.
What is the Delhi government doing?
Everywhere
the Delhi government is fudging data. That is what it is doing.
Guns.
Mr. Tyagi, you are aware of the fact now that Delhi government is fudging AQI data. You are aware of it, right? Because it's all on camera. It's all on camera that they fudge. Mr. Tyagi, if you, Mr. Tyagi, I am telling you that.
No, I think
I am telling you that.
Available. I think
Mr. Tyagi, I am telling you that because this is documented.
All the data is available online. All the data.
ऐसा है, Mr. Tyagi.
I don't agree with you. It might be documented. I am telling you.
When the water machines,
all the data,
when the water spraying machines are put in front of AQI monitoring machines, then that's called fudging data. And it is something that has been documented not just by journalists in Times Now. It has been documented by journalists at the Indian Express. It has been documented by journalists at Times of India. It has been documented by journalists at Aaj Tak. Across the board, it is documented. So the Delhi government is an expert in fudging data.
It is extremely funny. You have to understand how things are working. Just a moment. Just a moment. You do not. I do not think you have understood it totally. How this AQI is measured and what are the parameters of AQI?
Sir, how will I understand?
You have to
Only
understand
Rekha Gupta understands how AQI is measured.
The data. I think
she says it's a temperature that can be measured by thermometer. How will I understand?
You cannot be serious. All the data is available online. Fudging the data is a very serious allegation that you're putting.
It is not a serious allegation. It is something that is proven and is on camera. Kanak Gupta, would you want to come in here?
You say it is not a serious allegation? You're joking? You're joking.
Mr. Tyagi, this curated outrage will not do with me. Anyway, this curated outrage will not do with me. If you read newspapers, if you watch television channels, you will know what I'm saying is the truth. Anyhow, you are absolutely entitled to hold your own view. That's the whole point of a debate, right? That we can do it in a civilized manner, which I hope we are doing. Kanak Gupta, would you want to come in here?
So Shreya ji, as always, delighted to be here. Not happy to be talking about pollution again. But every year, I bring this to you that when I came to your show, I think 10 years ago, I was smoking about 14 cigarettes, breathing Delhi's air. Right now, I just looked up the monitor. I'm smoking about 56 cigarettes in this air just by stepping outside. And that's the air that we are exposing our children to. That should scare people.
Kanak, just hold on for a minute. today we have been told that Delhi's pollution has actually come down. Now, do I believe the figures, fudged figures? I usually don't believe the fudged figures. But we've been told that the pollution levels have come down and therefore GRAP 4 measures have been revoked. You are telling me that the pollution levels have actually not declined. Is that what you're telling me?
I am telling you that the pollution levels have not declined substantially. There have been very minor improvement in pollution. I think it was 471 in the morning. It's about 400 right now. It's not. It's nothing for us to, it's come down to poor category from very poor. That's what it's been, and we are celebrating that. I think the gods will be kind, and if it rains sometime, it will be even better. But, clean air should be a matter of right. It has become a matter of privilege. We're talking about air purifiers. We're talking about GST on air purifiers, but I don't think that there is even now a sustained effort to do anything. I've seen all the plans, all the programs, all the governments. They can't talk to each other civilized. That I don't know as to how it's ever going to be a problem solution approach to it at all. Clean air is I think still about 20 years away. Once some construction and roads, everything is done. I liked it, the fact that Mr. Gadkari spoke this morning. He spoke about it that yes, 40% of pollution is coming through vehicles. I'm so happy that he owned it up. And he talked about, there has to be some solution coming towards it. I think he's the first politician who actually put his hand up and said that, I'm going to work towards it. Otherwise, on your show, I keep hearing one party to the other playing badminton, that it's your fault, nothing else.
Actually we did have a plan to clean up air in this country. And there was money allocated for that plan. So the plan was that in 133 cities, we will reduce our pollution by at least 40%. Most of the money that has been spent under that plan has been spent in actually trying to curb and control dust pollution. And of course, that is important. But what Nitin Gadkari is saying is true as well, that 40% of our pollution is coming from vehicles. It's vehicular pollution. Have we done anything about that? How much money has been spent on that? I think about 12% or something. So I'm not even sure whether we completely understand the magnitude of the problem and what we need to do to control it. At least by my sense, the governments don't seem to. But Kapil Madan, you seem to think that one of the things that could actually work is lowering the GST on air purifiers. My friend, I have a simple question to ask you. Today the Aam Aadmi Party has very rightly put out pictures, which I can't put on our screens because they have been taken from other news channels, about Delhi ministers doing these fancy press conferences and doing these fancy one-on-one interviews, and unke piche 60,000 rupees ka air purifier laga hua hai. So obviously they couldn't care two hoots what the pollution levels are outside, because unke kamre mein to Switzerland level ka AQI hai. I want to ask you why your insistence on lowering the GST on air purifiers, given the fact that how many people can afford air purifiers in this country or in this city?
So Shreya, I think, to begin with, I must say with utmost responsibility, this is the, wrong question to ask. And let me explain why I say so. When, I decided that I'll be filing this petition, the idea cropped in my mind because I myself, went to buy an air purifier. And, those days AQI was upwards of 500, 600. And I could feel, it's suffocating. And when I got the bill, I realized that the government is charging 18% GST, despite that kind of, health crisis. When I did my own research on this, what I could find was that there exists a notification that defines what is a medical device. Okay. And in terms of that notification, it is our case before the Honorable High Court that air purifier qualifies to be a medical device, and therefore medical devices has a lower tax slab. Therefore, it should be taxed at that rate. Whether, that is sufficient, whether there should not be any tax at all, this is not the issue that I have raised in the petition. Why I filed this petition is, at least in the legal available framework, there exists a preposition on the basis of which we can convince the authorities that this 18% tax is wrong, it's illegal, and therefore, there should be a revision. That's the whole premise of that petition. Whether people will still be able to afford it, whether people will still not be able to afford it, that's not the question of the petition. Let me just clarify very, very clearly what is the contour of the petition. So this is the petition because even if you get a benefit of say about 12%, 13%, because if we succeed in getting this kind of an order,
I understand.
right, there would still be some respite.
हाँ सिद्धार्थ जी, आप क्या दिखा रहे हैं हमारे व्यूअर को? कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है वैसे, इतना लॉन्ग फ्रेम है, बट बताइए क्या दिखा रहे हैं?
नहीं, आपने बताया कि श्रेया जी, आपने बताया कि there were some visuals that Aam Aadmi Party played, and it was right that which you could not show on your screen because it was from a different channel. So I as Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson can show it from my own Twitter handle.
Okay.
So this is the BJP's Delhi minister sitting with air purifiers, 60,000 so-called air purifiers that you said, and that is the truth of the day, sadly.
Okay, Arushi, just come in here. You've heard all the politicians on the show. You've even heard the lawyer on the show. I want to ask you where you stand, not on the GST on air purifiers. I mean, the GST Council will come back on that because that's what the government of India is saying, कि भाई हम नहीं बता सकते हैं अभी, because the GST Council decides, and technically they are correct. I want to ask you whether there is absolutely any logic in this blame game that has been going on for some time now. For example, I'll start with the question I began with, and it's something that I asked Nitin Tyagi. Why should the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi be actually questioning an ex-Chief Minister and protecting the present Chief Minister? I'm not saying Rekha Gupta could have cleaned up Delhi's air in 10 months. I think none of us realistically ever believe that. But the fact is that the claims have been theirs. And the fact also is that while she has been in power only in 10 months and the BJP has been in power in Delhi only for 10 months, the BJP has been in power in the center for 11 years. Delhi is India's capital.
Because you initially said the same thing, that why are we playing a political blame game? So I don't want to get into what the Lieutenant Governor has done. I don't want to get into what ex-Chief Ministers and the present Chief Minister has done. But what I can say is that there can't be selective outrage and selective political-driven environmentalism. Because today the AQI has touched 500 in parts of Tamil Nadu and Kashmir also. Okay. So what are we doing this blame game for? And why is there a sudden rise in just these Delhi politics now? Because this has been a problem for the last 15 years, where the air quality has become severely, it has become a national health emergency. But what I did make note of is that just yesterday, the kind of initiatives that the Delhi government have announced, I just want to run our viewers and fellow panelists by very quickly. So, the government has decided that vehicles without a valid POC certificate will not get petrol or diesel year-round. And it's not just so now it's not just restricted to emergency situations, it's going to be a year-round practice, more like a norm, right? The DPCC has also ordered 400 industrial units to be shut down for violating pollution norms, which in itself is a very big step that has been taken. Of course, a little late, but better late than never. Delhi has also announced plans to open new automated vehicle testing stations to tighten the emissions for commercial vehicles.
Okay. And
also, the enforcement against pollution violators is going to be intensified. They're also working on an e-waste park, anti-smog mist systems on high-rises, and water body rejuvenation, while also cleaning up large portions of the 60-meter garbage mounds in the city that we see. So I'm seeing a little bit of incentive and initiative, but of course, I think that it has come very late. I don't want to get into which government has done what, because I think it's immaterial. This is a national issue. It's not just a Delhi problem. AQI has touched 500 in other parts of the country also. It has touched 900 also in other parts.
I will let Siddharth and Kanak respond to that. Siddharth ji, pehle aap. It is being said that at least the Delhi government has woken up and is doing something. That is an argument being made, and she is right in that sense. Of course, PUCs ka to ye hai that I can pay 100 rupees ka bribe and I will get a PUC certificate sitting here in the studio.
Fair enough.
But anyhow, go ahead.
I think enough said in the cheeky way. I think we need to get into solutions. And even a Lagard student like me knew far long back when I was in school that to pass a very tough test, best way is to copy notes from a bright one. It's as simple as that. I knew during my school days time when I was a Lagard. BJP can take a leaf out of arm farmers of Punjab. They brought down stubble burning 93% this year as per Modi Sarkar's own CAQM. BJP can also copy what Kejriwal did for Delhi in pollution. Delhi has nearly 1,000 EV buses. Next door, BJP ruled Noida, Gurugram has zilch. Delhi in increased its green cover from 20 to 23%, while LG got censured by the judiciary for cutting 1,500 trees. Delhi government during Arvind Kejriwal shifted 1,700 industries from fossil fuel to piped natural gas, while BJP plans to denude natural Aravalli hills. Delhi government brought in odd even, which even the high and mighty like Chief Justices complied with, while BJP Pradhanji flies solo in an 8,000 crore jet. BJP has in effect been caught with its pant up to its knees on pollution, can't acknowledge it, hence can't solve it. Pollution has become the proverbial elephant in BJP's policy room, growing ever bigger by the day, pushing the entire BJP ecosystem to expose itself. All talk and no work. It's as simple as that.
Okay, नहीं वो all talk and no work तो आपके लोगों ने भी 10 साल किया है ना. I'll give the last word to Kanak Gupta as a citizen of this country. It's a good point that has been raised by Arushi. Arushi is saying, is Delhi the only polluted city in this country or the most polluted city in this country? Lucknow sometimes is as bad. Chennai there's a problem. Sometimes Srinagar there's a problem. Then why this selective outrage, she says, only over Delhi? Kanak, please answer that question. It's a good question to ask.
Absolutely. And look, it's natural that Delhi would get that limelight being the capital city. It becomes sort of the poster city for highlighting the issue. It is a national health emergency, but what we are seeing is it's a political, pot boiler for everyone. It is not, it should not be. It is a national health emergency. It is as dangerous as COVID. It needs a lot more attention to it. Delhi will get that attention because it is the national capital. It has been in the limelight. It is where all the stories started emerging in the first place. Like you said, there are 133 cities that have been identified that we were supposed to work on, but we are not. As a citizen, I really feel that there is still no incentive that the politicians have, except for being on television shows and screaming, shouting, and playing badminton on blame game. I think none of the parties have really put their heads together. It requires a lot more concentrated and scientific effort to resolve this problem. Just by reducing something or doing something optics-wise will not help. I think previously we had odd even, which was completely optics. And then I was told, I think on your shows and on your channel that we as citizens of the country only raise our voice during festival time and we should celebrate festivals. We were told that, activists have a particular agenda. No, we don't have any agenda. I'm smoking 55 cigarettes by just stepping outside. I care for my health, but there are limitations that I have, that I cannot leave this city. I cannot afford air purifiers even if Kapilji wins the petition and reduces the GST. It's not easy for all of us to afford 60,000, 70,000 air purifiers. So a better effort is required. Citizens are suffering.
Okay, we leave it there. And Nitin ji, I have to say कि हम लोग मौसम का मजा नहीं ले सकते. As the Prime Minister had famously said, आप भी नहीं ले सकते और मैं भी नहीं ले सकती और वो भी नहीं ले सकते.
We have not been able to do that since quite some time, and definitely we would be able to do that in some years to come.
चलिए त्यागी जी, we'll wait and watch. Hopefully before I retire and before you retire. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Arushi, thank you for joining us. Kanak Gupta, thank you very much. Siddharth Sharma, thank you. And Kapil Madan, all the very best with what the central government says to your petition. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There's more news on the other side. Do stay with us.